Chris said was very gracious in this sense. He seemed to say the only reason that she did well was because her husband was messing around. And I think Hillary Clinton, frankly, I was astounded at how well she did running for the Senate. And she did go up to northern New York, that listening tour and talking to those people and taking the beating. And she did run a fine campaign, and she's been a fine United States senator from her standpoint. And those things have made her a prospective presidential candidate as well. So what Chris said last night, I think, was accurate. There were both things were factors, but I do hope, and I do agree with you, I hope nobody forced him to do that, and simply because Gloria Steinem or Media Matters or somebody like that comes after you is no reason for anybody to apologize. It could be a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly has a chilling effect on what we do.
I'm probably going to say something that's wildly unpopular with women, but what bothers me about this is that the website's isolated one portion of what he said, and that was a conversation. And I was a part of that conversation, and I actually remember saying to him that, of course, if Laura Bush or if someone else was humiliated by their husband, they wouldn't win for Senate because they didn't have the qualifications. And Hillary Clinton had worked all of her life getting experience, but what Chris was saying...
And Chris agreed with you.
He agreed with me, and that was the conversation. But what he was saying, like in New Hampshire, there was a confluence of events, including sympathy, that led to her success.
Well,
and there was nothing wrong with pointing that out.
And let me say, Pat, the reason I felt sorry for her personally, not as a reporter, but personally, was because of some of the horrible things I thought her husband was saying about her on the campaign trail. And I've talked to a lot of men and a lot of women that felt the same way. And we were like, and we all said, she deserves so much better than this.
She doesn't play the victim, but she happens to, in some cases in time, to have been one. It doesn't take away from her other qualities and her intellectual experience.
Pat?
You know, Joe, on the morning of New Hampshire, I came on before John Edwards came on your show, and you played that clip of Edwards saying, you got to be tough to be president, you know, about her sort of emotional moment, and I said it was graceless. And behind that was a sentiment that she had been beaten up in the debate, and she had gotten emotional at the end of a campaign. It looked like everything was slipping away. And I think, just like I did and others did who are not Clintonites, felt a sympathy for her. The women of New Hampshire came to her rescue there. And there's no doubt about it. It was, again, a deeply sympathetic moment for her. And just as the 98, 99, so in those 48 hours before New Hampshire, I think that emotion came to her, and I think it was the winning factor. And to the degree that Chris reflected on that, I think he was accurate.
This ain't about Hillary Clinton's campaign.
No, it's not.
This is about censorship. We'll be right back.